Tonight on Top Gear, how to slash cash from your motoring budget. Plus, find out how the owner of this tired old Cavalier diesel got to go home in the car of his dreams. As a country, we spend £67.6 billion every year on our cars. Now, we at Top Gear have always strived to help save you money, to reduce this billion-pound burden. But tonight, we're going to go further. Buying a car, it should be easier than it is. The internet, car supermarkets, dealers in trendy showrooms, they've all been sent to help, yet still we fear the whole process. After the trauma of buying a house or a flat, nothing in life is quite as stressful as buying and running a car. In fact, it's a minefield. And if you want to survive, you'd better watch your step. Just when you think you've saved money buying a car, you get a huge insurance bill. You'll need to get it serviced. You'll need new tyres, brakes, exhausts. And never mind all that, fuel still costs a fortune.
Rod and Sam Humphreys are two people about to go through it all. They have £5 to spend and are looking for something with a whole host of uses. But there is one in particular. You see, Rod is a mobile DJ. The bargain buy won't just be a smart set of wheels for the family. It's also got to be a full-blooded disco chariot.
As well as the Escort disco van, Rod is also the proud owner of a Vauxhall Cavalier and a Nissan Bluebird. Now, that's 3 lots of tax and insurance to pay for and 3 fuel tanks to fill. What he really needs is one car that will do the lot.
For me, it needs to be reliable. And it has to look reasonably the part, if you know what I mean. There's no point in me turning up in a van because that's, you know, people are not inspired with confidence when their doctor turns up in something like that. So it has to look reasonably okay, but I mean, those are the 2 main things, yeah.
Well, we're prepared to look at everything from sort of Mondeo estates, you know, nice large estate cars upwards, really.
Bearing all that in mind, we found second-hand MPVs and an estate well suited to their needs. But with little money to play with, winkling this lot out wasn't easy at all.
You see, Rod and Sam could be setting their sights a little bit too high. Used buyers have worked out that these cars are a money pit for their first-time owners, whilst demand for the second-hand cars remains surprisingly healthy. The result is prices level out at a certain point, and that point could well be above Rod's budget. They're going to have to be very careful not to buy one with a dodgy history and an even dodgier interior.
But bargain hunting doesn't stop at the price you pay for a car. We all worry about the running costs too. But what's the one that hurts the most?
My insurance.
Petrol.
Freight tax. Insurance, probably.
Yeah, insurance.
Car insurance.
Fuel. Servicing. My rocket. They're all expensive. What car do you drive? I drive Cavalier. Cavalier. Diesel.
Actually, we know exactly what car this bloke drives. As a matter of fact, we know rather a lot about him and his car. Because this is that Vauxhall Cavalier, parked here outside his house. Richard is at work at the moment, so he hasn't got a clue that we've come here to help his wife Claire prepare a rather large surprise. You see, she's currently at home on maternity leave, but that's where the common sense goes out the window, because Claire has decided to swap Richard's Cavalier for a second-hand supercar, costing around £20,000. It's a birthday present he knows nothing about.
He has to get a car anyway, because we need to change the car because it's just too old and too expensive to repair. And I thought, well, a couple of £1,000 over and above what we were going to spend is not going to do much, and for a dream car, you know, it was a very realistic idea.
I'd say tears. Tears mightn't be unexpected, but mostly shock.
I think he'll think it's rented. I don't think he'll think it's his. And then when it dawns on him that it's actually his, I think.
He's gonna kill her. Honestly.
He probably will.
Well, they're absolutely determined to get a supercar, and it seems they're quite happy to grin and bear the cost of keeping it moving. We all think that petrol costs far too much money, and soon they're going to be spending more on it than most. But we can show you that easing the burden of buying petrol, whether for a supercar or not, is easier than you think.
What really hurts is that when it comes to fuel, Britain not only produces plenty of the crude stuff, but it also has one of the cheapest pre-tax import prices in the world. And yet we still pay more at the pump than anyone else.
Last year we tried voting with our feet, only to be greeted with some genuine head-scratching. But still, the canny Scotsman manages to relieve us of the same amount of money. Short of beating drums or moving to Texas, what can you do?
Well, you can start by using your head. OK, it won't change the price of petrol. That point has already been proved. But you could save yourself a few £100 from your fuel bill. When filling your tank, why blow all your money away?
Even if you are frustrated with fuel, don't try this down your local forecourt. What you can do is get into the habit of looking at pump prices. You could find a difference of around 4p a litre within a 5-mile radius, saving a good chunk of cash every year.
You might think that the greater the speed, the greater the fuel consumption. And you're not wrong, but there is money to be made in being a tad more aggressive with your right foot.
According to the White Coat Brigade at the RAC, the quicker you use the throttle and go through the gears, the more money you save. But that's no excuse for Novaman to decorate his licence rather than his car.
The aim of the game is to get up to cruising speed through the gears, but without going above 3,000 RPM. As soon as you start hearing harmonics from the engine, the only people laughing will be those at the Treasury.
As well as these 2 tips, here are some other ways to squeeze the most from the pumps.
Make sure your car is always in tune. A car is like a guitar. It needs constant fettling. An out-of-tune engine can cost a mile a gallon. Singing like that can cost you your life.
You burn more fuel when your tyre pressures are low, so keep them in check. And fitting your car with a roof rack transforms the aerodynamics of any saloon into that of a fully laden skip. But the real stealth fuel burner is air conditioning. A lot of cars are fitted with climate control as standard, so many people forget that their AC is on 24/7. Choose to apply that little lot and you could save yourself a fair few bob in no time at all.
So to the first of our MPVs. And fuel economy, incidentally, is right at the top of their list.
Which is why Rod and Sam will be looking at this as their first potential buy, the Mitsubishi Space Wagon. Now, even though it's car size, it's got those all-important 7 seats and the diesel engine they're after. But that last bit makes it special. You see, these cars were only available in Japan with an oil burner, which means what we're looking at is a grey import.
Rod's been reading up on buying second-hand. Will he convince the vendors he's a bit of an expert?
It's got a few scratches here.
Yeah.
It's not a host of extras on it, you know, but it's all what you need.
Sure.
It goes all right. It returns about, with the air on, about 35 to the gallon. Lovely jubbly.
The car comes across, it's been, I mean, he's obviously spent a bit of time on it. He's blacked the wheels, you know. Would you pop the bonnet for us so have a look under the bonnet?
Yeah. There you go.
There's a lot of unknowns about it, really. So the speedo is in kilometres.
Yeah, just divide that by 1/6, it gives you the exact mileage. Or take a third off, roughly. That's some idea, you know.
The mileage being in kilometres doesn't really tie up. There's no registration number on the MOT certificate. It's just a chassis number on there. That seems a bit strange, although he says that it should be like that if it's an import.
So I don't know enough about imports.
I don't know enough about imports. I mean, if it's an import, how long was it used, where it came from? There's been too much tarting up of the inside as well. The inside's quite
And he's very keen to do everything for us.
I mean, anything that's wrong with it will be put right. I won't let you take it, you know.
I'll do an
He's
MOT,
gonna
I'll paint it,
respray
I'll
it,
give you...
yeah,
And I
no,
just think that doesn't...
Just didn't get the right
It
feeling
doesn't...
about
He
it.
feels like a trader. He
Yes.
feels like... Because he's only had it since November, that's what
Yeah.
he told me. How much are you asking for it?
Well, all done. There's a little scratch on the side. It'd be 5.5.
Right, I think we've seen enough.
All right. OK, yeah, whatever. Sure.
No, I
So we
think
don't think we like this one.
No, next one, please. I think.
That's all done. End of that, another couple of measures.
This is the Nissan Serena. Now, it's got 8 seats, is only 4 years old, and its 4,800 quid asking price is well within the budget. It's off to a flying start. It is a 1.6 litre petrol, so it won't be that pokey or economical, but it's all here and it's more than up to the job. If Rod and Sam take into account the extra they're going to have to shell out to buy a diesel, then they could do a lot worse.
Trouble is, I get the feeling it's not just about fuel economy anymore. The fact that it's not pretty could put it to the bottom of the list straight away.
Well, what did you think of it?
Don't ask me.
Right,
He's
I'll
already
tell you what I
slagged it
thought
off.
of it then. Yeah, I mean, a bit disappointed, really, if that's all we can get for our money. The price you're asking again?
4.8.
4.8. And the engine is?
You're sitting on it when you drive.
Yeah, it's a mid-engine, isn't it? Yeah.
Is there air conditioning or not?
Only through the window.
I think I could get my equipment in there.
Right.
And take the rear seats out.
And it does that both sides.
Right. Value for money? No, I don't think it's very good value for money.
The paintwork's okay, I think. And I did like the look of it.
But the trouble is that he bought it when it had only done 17,000 miles. That was 2 years ago, and it's done 75,000 miles now. It's very, very clean underneath. What about servicing? Have you had it regularly serviced?
Yeah, it was Nissan serviced all the way through its warranty.
I didn't feel as badly about it as you did, and maybe I had a more realistic idea of what we get for our money. Having looked in the books,
yeah.
I did quite.
But if that was a van,
you know,
you wouldn't pay.
No.
You wouldn't pay half that for it.
Van-like or not, the Serena is worth thinking about because it doesn't matter if you've got 2 grand or 20. It's all about what you can afford.
Claire has got 20 grand, but with twins, shouldn't she be buying the MPV?
You know, you're only young ones. Why not just, if we're in the position to buy a car like a supercar, we might as well just go and buy it.
Okay, supercar. Let's try and define that a little bit. You have something specific in mind, and Richard has a hankering for...
TVRs. He kind of likes those, but he likes general cars. You know, he likes Porsches as well, but he really has this deep love. If he sees a TVR in the car, he just follows the car until it's out of eye line and drools.
Any particular TVR?
Yeah, the Chimera is quite nice. Quite nice. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's such a dream car, and they do such fantastic colours.
A TVR Chimera? Well, perhaps not the most reliable of second-hand buys, but what the hell? It's a swooping slice of V8-powered British beef, and it's got a noise like no other.
You can see the appeal. And besides, you can't do this in a Cavalier.
I mean, you realise, with cars like this, if you put your foot down, I mean, whoa, it does sort of, slide around a bit. I mean, that can tend to happen.
Oh, God. It's for the rubber.
So you think he'll take it all steady, do you, and, be a good boy?
I think he will on normal roads, but if he, I definitely will do a track day for him. Oh, my God. I'm feeling seasick now.
He won't drive like that, then, you don't think?
No. I'll kill him if he does.
Easy, Tiger. No, you're looking a bit windswept. How was it?
Oh, wow. It was absolutely fantastic. He's a lunatic.
I know. Do you know, I forgot something. I should have given you one of these before you went out. I've always found it very useful when he's driving. But, as we're talking blindfolds, do us a favour, stick that on, would you? Because we have a pretty big surprise for you.
This better be good.
It will be.
Are you sitting comfortably?
And it could be a surprise for you too. 5 high-performance legends. 7 cars which would have had a collective value of £250,000 when they were new. These days, they're all available second-hand for Claire's £20,000 budget. They're cars you drive in your dreams. Now you can park them in your driveway too. I've got to say, this looks slightly perverse, with you sitting beside Tiffany Dell in a TVR. Welcome to Barlow's Field of Dreams. Give me your hand, come with me. Watch out for the quarter light. Whoa.
Where are we going?
We're just going to go for a quick walk into a forest, which is just here. Come with me. I think it's time we got that blindfold off. Allow me.
Oh my God.
Here we are.
Wow.
Look at what we have got lined up for you. 2 Ferraris.
Wow.
2 Ferraris.
Black.
What's that yellow thing? That's a Lotus. Let me tell you, that is a fantastic car. That's almost a racing car.
Oh!
Yeah. Go on. Have a look at them. It's a feast of affordable exotica, and lucky old Claire here can't afford to buy one of these cars, which she's going to do by the end of the programme. Join us later to find out which one that's going to be.
Now, when it comes to getting insured, it seems everyone's an expert. But don't take everything the bloke down your local tells you as gospel. Here's Top Gear's guide to debunking the car insurance myths.
Here, got a nice set of alloy wheels. Set your motor off a treat. No need to tell the insurance company. They'll never find out.
Myth. If your car is involved in an accident, the insurer's engineer might spot any modifications you neglected to tell them about. If you keep quiet, they are perfectly within their rights not to pay out.
What, you can't afford the premiums on your car? I'll tell you what, insure it in your dad's name, then make yourself named driver. That'll keep the costs down.
Myth. If you're really the main driver and pretend otherwise, you're guilty of fraud. Insurers are getting good at spotting this. Premiums are always based on the youngest named driver anyway, so all the time you're not building up your own no-claims bonus.
You got points on your licence? Oh dear, you want to keep that secret? I mean, they'll sting you for a load of cash if they think you're a speeder.
Myth. Not necessarily. Never try to pull the wool over an insurer's eyes. If you con them, they'll never cough up if you have a bump. And in fact, most companies are prepared to ignore minor speeding offences.
I tell you what, you want to avoid brokers. I mean, they always take a cut. Go to one of them direct insurers. They're much cheaper.
Myth. Not always. Direct insurers are fine if you're a low-risk driver, but if you're high risk, then a specialist broker will often be able to bag you a better deal.
You don't want to feel sorry for the insurance companies. They're a load of rob dogs who's rolling in cash.
That's a myth as well. Car insurers have made a loss in 9 out of the last 10 years. For every £1 they collect in premiums, they pay out about £1.20 in claims. Sounds like they're the ones who need a lesson in good value.
Car number 3, and another MPV, a 97 Espace. Can this one make them happy on all counts?
Yeah, initially it looked very nice. As we drove up, we liked the appearance of it. Alloy wheels, twin sunroof, all the sort of bits, faired-in wing mirrors. It looked very nice as we approached it. Somebody spent a bit of time polishing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I like red cars. So that was, I know, but I do. And I thought, no, it looks nice, and the paintwork looked good. And I thought for an L, actually, it looked in good condition.
On the face of it, this Espace is a pretty interesting buy. A 7-seater MPV with twin sunroofs and a beefy 2.2 diesel. At £4,750, it appears to be an absolute bargain. OK, it's got 108,000 miles on the clock, but for an engine that's been fully serviced like this one, it's nothing to worry about.
Hello.
Hello, come to have a look at the Renault Espace.
Yes, certainly.
What make of a Espace is it?
Yeah, the general condition of the car was fine. We had a look at the engine, and the engine sounded OK.
Those go forward like that.
Oh, right, so that's easy, so I could do that.
Just gonna have a look underneath, I think. Underneath, there's very little rust underneath, sort of dirt you might expect for a car of that age. Yeah, underneath the bodywork was very good. Air conditioning?
No.
Yeah.
2 sunroofs.
2 sunroofs, yeah, that's a good thing. Get rid of some of the heat in there once, because they do get very hot, don't they?
This is the service book.
Yes, you have had it regularly serviced, haven't you?
OK. Yeah.
We went and test drove the vehicle. The view here is very much like the Toyota Preview, and the drive was vastly superior to the previous Nissan Serena that we'd seen. It was much better. Yeah, it's nice. It drives well.
Again, it's dreadful.
Yeah, it does drive well.
Sam liked it, and she had every reason to. OK, a few things need sorting out, but this is a short, sharp lesson in exactly what you can get for your money. It's a diesel MPV. They even like the colour. And quite frankly, to get everything you want for under £5 is a miracle.
for £20,000 you can get a different sort of miracle.
Now, we know that hubby's heart is set on a TVR Chimera, but has he ever considered a Cerbera? Back in 1997, this car cost around £40,000, and now, 4 years and 28,000 miles later, it's worth half that. OK, there's no detachable roof, but it's a 2+2, so there's room in the back for the twins, and it comes with a full TVR service history.
Claire, talk me through your lust for it. So it's very loud. Talk me through your lust for the Cerbera.
Well, look at the car, the shape, the sound, the colour. Do I really need to say any more? Just look at that car. It's fantastic.
Yep, you convinced me. On your way, sunshine. Now, this is the Lotus Esprit. Now look, this is a supercar. It's mid-engined. It looks ridiculous. It's got a massive windscreen. It's got big wings, and it's
yellow.
It's yellow. You don't like yellow, do you?
I don't like yellow.
It'll do 0 to 60 under 5 seconds.
It's yellow.
268 brake horsepower, madam.
That's not bad, but it's yellow. Sorry.
Next, come on.
And of course, if you're looking for a supercar, the first name most people think of is the most prestigious one of them all, Ferrari.
In 1975, this 308 GTB cost the equivalent of £100,000. What makes this even more attractive is the minuscule mileage, just 26,000 and fully serviced by 2 loving owners. The only thing more attention-grabbing than a Ferrari coupe? A Ferrari convertible.
Just didn't expect to see any Ferraris. I really didn't think they were in our price league at all. But I just can't see Richard in a Ferrari.
OK. So perhaps Ferrari is a little bit ostentatious, dare I say it, even a bit flashy. But what if you're absolutely adamant about getting an Italian supercar? What can you get for £20,000 that's a little bit more discreet? You can get a Maserati. This is a Ghibli with a mighty 2.8-litre twin-turbo engine, very clean, with no rust and in rude health. Tempting, isn't it? But don't bother unless it comes with a stack of paperwork. Claire reckons it's a bit old-fashioned anyway.
I think it's more of a car for somebody who's 20, 25 years older than I am, or Richard is.
Not so the Porsche 911, renowned for thrilling drivers of all ages.
This 1990 Carrera 2 has got 51,000 miles on the clock. Now, anything Italian, the alarm bells would be ringing, but this Porsche is only just run in.
That's his maybe, Tiff, but this particular car is a Tiptronic.
No, Richard doesn't really like automatics as much, prefer a manual car.
No, believe me, it's really good. If Porsche can do autos.
And it's a white car.
It's white. You've got some deciding to do, haven't you? And it is a huge decision with all that money to spend. Which would you go for? Give us a short list of 3. Come on, let's narrow it down. I have a feeling I know what one of them's going to be.
Well, one of them's going to be the Cerbera.
Well, this is a surprise, yeah.
I really do like the convertible Ferrari.
Convertible Ferrari. Didn't think you'd go for it. But number 3.
I know I said I wanted a Chimera.
Well, we have a change of opinion occurring here. I really didn't think you were going to change your mind. And you're going to go for a Porsche as well. So that's our final short list. 3 cars. But which one is Claire going to go for? The decision is yet to be made. Join us later.
In the meantime, back to those bargains.
Now we come to a wildcard entry amongst all these MPVs, the Peugeot 406 Estate. It's got the practicality, a well-scrubbed image, and could just be the answer to Rod and Sam's prayers.
What's the old saying, never buy a car in the rain?
I don't know. Whose saying was that? Yours?
There is one.
It's got an immobiliser there, but I've just started it up for you, so just go on in, it's okay. The seat's fixed for me, so you might want to put this little telescopic thing in. Yeah, okay. Do you want to get in?
OK, I'll just start it up.
You sure you don't want to get in?
Where's the bonnet?
Do you want my umbrella?
The bonnet
It's a little rattly.
You did want a diesel, but will the gear go in? I bet DLT doesn't have these problems.
Shall we drive it, Rod?
Yes, I'll put these bits back in the van.
This 406 is a 97 on the P, and although the 1.9 diesel engine has got 79,000 miles to its name, this is the pick of the bunch.
We're not excited by this car. It's very nice, it's very clean.
She's not excited. Go on, go on.
So she wants 5.4 for this. And I'm looking for my air conditioning and it's not here. And my CD player and it's not here.
and my electric windows all round and they're not here.
I just think you get so much more for your money with this vehicle. It's true it won't take all my disco equipment, and that's a downside certainly, but you just get so much more for your money. It's in much better condition than anything else we've seen.
OK, Sam wanted her aircon and CD player, but this has got more kit and it's in better nick than anything they've seen so far. It's got the diesel engine, electric sunroof, electric front windows and twin airbags. And for this asking price, it shouldn't be sniffed at.
Now, Claire, these are the 3 shortlisted cars. Which one have you gone for?
I have to go for the TVR. It's just the dream car.
It's a heck of a car. What swung it for you?
It's a modern-looking car, very futuristic. It's such a beautiful shape. It's just really what I consider a supercar.
And what sort of reaction are you expecting when we hand this car over to your very lucky husband?
He's going to be overwhelmed.
So with these lot to choose from, has any one car been deemed worthy enough to grace our Disco King's driveway, bearing in mind the weighty expectations?
They wanted the space of Rod's old disco van, so did they buy the Nissan Serena?
No, too much like a van.
They were after a family car, but with 7 seats, so did they go for the Espace?
No, we didn't buy the Espace.
It's a little bit too old, I think.
They wanted the economy of the diesel van, but in a prettier package. So did they go for the Peugeot 406?
Didn't like it.
Don't tell me they bought the Mitsubishi.
No, I wasn't persuaded with a Mitsubishi.
Nope, they didn't buy any of them, but they kept on looking and eventually bought a car below their £5 budget.
Question is, what have they bought that's replaced this little lot?
We got a Ford Mondeo hatchback.
That's right, a maroon Mondeo. Saloon, without a diesel engine.
I can't believe it. We showed them all these cars. I mean, they've got a growing family, and after all that, they go for a Mondeo. And it's a saloon. What's going on?
It's Richard's birthday. Worryingly, none of us has a clue how he's going to react.
I think he'll just be speechless. I don't think we're going to get much out of him.
It's T-minus 10 minutes and counting. Claire is extremely nervous about how he's going to react. As you can see, the old Cavalier has been given the heave-ho and it's lying around forlorn in the background and replaced with this. If Claire's made the wrong choice, she's in big trouble. If she's made the right choice, she could still be in big trouble. Here he comes now, looking for that Cavalier.
Happy birthday.
Hello.
This is yours.
Right. Okay, well.
Do you like it?
I do. I don't know what to say, really, now.
Happy birthday.
Clearly a man in full control of his emotions. It's a TVR Cerberus, for heaven's sake. Mind you, there's every chance he's still in shock.
I'm still in shock, really, but I can't believe I've got TVR. That's fantastic. I've never driven anything like it.
Next week on Top Gear, the first time on television for the awesome new Aston Martin Vanquish.